I'm gonna show you exactly how I would make $5,000 per month on Kajabi as a fresh user if I didn't have a big audience, no online presence, but I knew everything that I know today. I've been an entrepreneur for over 5 years and been using Kajabi for over 3 of those years, and I wasted so many hours tinkering with the different features that Kajabi does offer us, and I wasted a lot of time on things that didn't actually make me any money. Obviously, I've learned a lot and I know how to make money consistently online, so this is what I would do to get to that $5,000 per month if I were starting fresh, knowing what I know now. By the way, if you're thinking about signing up for Kajabi and using this amazing platform to grow your business and share your expertise online, now is an amazing time to join. Right now, you can get 3 months of Kajabi for only $99, but the offer is limited. It's Kajabi's biggest deal that they offer throughout the year, and it does end on January 25th at midnight. And if you're watching this video after January 25th, 2024, you missed the window. So you have to wait until next year when they do offer this again. But if you want to dive in, use everything I share with you inside this video to start getting to that 5K per month, or even just 3K per month or $2,000 a month. It's totally worth it to use Kajabi. And I'm gonna show you how to do it. But if you do want to pick up that 3 months at $99, you can use my affiliate link. If you do sign up, a small percentage of your investment does come back to support me, helps me keep the lights on and keep making content like this to better help you build your online business. Now, if you do use my link, you will get the 3 months at $99, but you'll also get a one-to-one coaching call where I will personally sit down with you and talk about whatever you want when it comes to Kajabi or your online business. And it's not a sales call, it's an implementation call. On top of that, you also get a course that I created, which is a 30-day business building blueprint specific to Kajabi of how to set up your business and shortcut all the guessing and learning curves that come with jumping into this in the unknown. To learn about all this and more, you can just go to profityourknowledge.com/Kajabi. There's also a link down in the description. So here's what I would do if I were starting fresh as a new user. I would go to sales, go down to offers, and create a new offer. And I would call this one-to-one coaching with James Allen. And I'm not going to pick a product. See, what a lot of people do is they think that, oh, I need to make an online course or a membership site or something like that. What I'm doing is I'm going to focus on coaching people because you can charge a lot more and you can get started right away. So I'm just going to give it a name, and that still gives me the opportunity to not pick a product, but just continue. And then from here, you can decide what you want to do. I would recommend creating 2 separate offers. One would be a one-time, and that would be paid in full. So if people pay in full to work with you, then you can give them a discount, kind of hook them up. Be like, hey, you took action fast, here's a discount. And then the other option would create a multi-pay where over several months, they make multiple payments and you can decide how many payments. When it comes to pricing for your coaching, I would recommend to, as a baseline, getting going with this business, assuming that you are very knowledgeable and good at what you're trying to help people do and you have experience with that. I would say anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per month and create at least a 3 to 6 month coaching program. So it really depends on what you're offering and the confidence that you have behind that. Don't think about the time, think about more of the value and the result that you're helping people achieve. So if we take a look over at my one-on-one coaching, it's 4 payments of $1,250. It's a $5,000 total investment, or if they do a one-time investment, they get $4,000. So I take $1,000 off because I want to reward people for taking action. Okay, I have this cool little piece of code that allows me to mix these 2 up so they can switch over to the other checkout page. That's a payment plan. So it's 4 payments, $1,250, or they can do the one payment of $4,000. Totally up to them, but they are 2 separate checkout pages. So if you're talking to someone, and let's say that you have a $500 per month to work with me for 3 months. It's $1,500. But if someone is like, I want to pay in full, I can do the whole $1,500 right now. You can say, hey, for a fast action, I'll give you $1,200. I'll take a couple hundred off. However you decide to structure your pricing plans is totally up to you. There is creative freedom, but I do recommend, picking $500 to $1,000 per month. If you're really knowledgeable and you're good at what you do and you know what you're doing and you can really help someone achieve a certain result, you're worth it. Okay. Half the battle is just getting over the mindset shift that am I really worth this much? And then when you start charging it, eventually you're like, of course I'm worth that. I'm worth way more than that. That's probably the hardest part of all this. So I'd recommend you setting up a checkout page like this where you can collect payments. You can tell them a little bit about what's inside. And again, if we go over here, we can say, let's do a one-time payment of $3K, okay? They can pay what they want to. I wouldn't recommend that for here. And then you can pick Stripe. So if you're brand new in Kajabi, you'd have to set up your Stripe account, or you can use Kajabi payments as well. We'll hit save and finish. And this is the first step. From here, we can change up the pricing. You can add the different logo and stuff. Go over to edit checkout. It looks super basic. I would just fill in this information with whatever you want. But yeah, this will be, if they're like, I want to pay in full, you send them the paid in full option or the link to that checkout page by just clicking right here, get link. And they say, I want to do the payment plan. You go to the other checkout page, send them the payment plan link. After you get all that set up, what a lot of people will do inside of Kajabi is create a coaching offer. I do not recommend you do this. I do not do this. I reserve my products for online courses, memberships, that kind of stuff, or a community. But when it comes to one-on-one coaching, I've always done it on Zoom even before I was using Kajabi, and that's what I stick with today. So even though Kajabi does have this as an option where you can use a coaching program inside of Kajabi, I wouldn't recommend doing it. I'll show you what I like to do. So I love to use Calendly. This makes things so easy when it comes to scheduling, and I'll show you how to automatically create Zoom meetings when people schedule events. So you can get started with Calendly. If I was brand new getting going and I had minimal investment, just paying for Kajabi or taking advantage of this, the 3 months or a 30-day free trial or something like that, I would create a Zoom account or a Calendly account. And when you have a free account, you only get one of these events. I'm on the paid account. I have many different events that I like to use, but I would just start with something like this: 45 minutes with James Allen, or whatever your name is. Event details, you can change up the name, change up the color of whatever you want, what makes sense to you, and then the duration. I would say anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. I like 45, somewhere in between. It's okay if you go over a little bit, as long as the other person is okay with that. Usually they really appreciate it. This is where it gets cool. Location. So you will set up, and what I would do is I would set up a Zoom account. I'd pay for it because with Zoom on the free plan, you only get 45 minutes of recording time and then the meeting ends. So I want to have as much time as I need and not have to worry about that and feel rushed or stressed or anything. So it's worth paying the $15 per month to use Zoom. And again, with Calendly, you can set up this whole calendar appointment that automatically creates your Zoom meeting on the free plan, which is pretty amazing. And my page, I keep super simple. I have a little logo up at the top. It says 45 minutes. This is what people see when they're considering booking a time with me. And I just keep it really simple. Book a time and let's get a solid game plan to grow your online business. Note this call will be on Zoom. And then I do a little testimonial down at the bottom. So after you set up your event details, you want to set up your scheduling settings. And this is basically what your availability is. Go through that. Then we have booking page options. So you can pick the little URL. Mine's calendly.com/profityourknowledge/grow. But you can call it whatever you want: strategy session, discovery call, anything you want. I like to collect their name and email. And for questions, a lot of people do these really big questionnaires inside of Calendly. I want people to show up to the call, to be on the call. Obviously, I talk to them ahead of time before they get onto this, but I can learn a lot about this person by having them drop a link to their website or their main content channel. That makes sense for me because I'm going to help them grow their business and their brand online. So if I get their website, I can read their About Me page. I can see what kind of content they're putting out, if they're putting out content, all that kind of stuff. And I like to study people and their brand as a whole before I get onto an actual phone call with them, so I can really know where this person is at in their business. And then this isn't required, but people always fill it out. This question right here, question 2, is if you could walk away with one thing from this call that would dramatically grow your business, what would it be? You could say if you would walk away with one thing from this call that would dramatically improve your health, what would it be? Or would dramatically improve your confidence, what would it be? And that really helps me know what this person wants to achieve from this call, so I can make sure they're getting, even if they don't sign up with me, they're getting something from this and they're getting value from the time spent with me, which is super important. So when we view the live page, this is what people would see. If I send them my link, they'll say, yeah, Monday, 12 p.m. next, put their name, email, what's your website or your main content channel. If you could walk away with one thing, what would it be? And then send text messages to this person. Okay, and then they can schedule their event. All that's happening passively. Once this stuff is all set up, it's time to get some leads. People make this stuff way too complicated. And I'm saying that because I did for years. I made it way too complicated, thinking I had to pick the perfect niche and all this stuff. Like, it's really simple. And over the years of figuring out how this stuff actually does work, I came up with this little mantra called connect, inspire, invite. So first off, we have connect. Who do you want to help? What result do you want to help them get? And where are they hanging out? You don't have to get so granular with, I need to help middle-aged dads who have 5 kids who drive a minivan and all this crazy stuff. Just say it's simple. For me, for example, I help creators and experts turn their knowledge into an online business. Very simple. I help who do what? I help women feel empowered, confident, and capable. See, the way that you grow a coaching business is by talking to the people you can help about what you can help them do. And then it's about helping them, but it's all about conversations. And so many people get wrapped up in their head about what they need to do, what's the tactic or the this and the that. Just know who you want to help and the kind of impact you want to make in the world. Get out there and start talking to people. By doing that, over time, you will get more focused on who very specifically you help. You'll get more granular over time. But people get so wrapped up in their heads that they don't even take the time to actually connect with people. For example, if I wanted to help professional athletes, I'm going to go where professional athletes are and start talking to them about what they are trying to achieve. What do they really want help with? That's going to help me really nail on whether I really do want to work with professional athletes or how I want to help them. So when you think about who you want to help and what you want to help them do, it's so simple. This first step, you just have to connect and start a conversation with these people. Go to live events where they're hanging out. Go to Facebook groups, meetups, or even start a podcast. I made $4,000 in my first week of podcasting by having conversations with my target audience. I have a whole video where I break down the whole story, the whole strategy and whatnot. I'll make sure to link that down in the description so you can check it out yourself. These are all different ways that you can just connect with the people that you really want to help and get into a conversation with them. So once you connect with these people, now you need to inspire them. The definition of inspire is to fill someone with the urge or ability to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. So join the conversations with these people. Talk about what you do, and more importantly, get them to feel like they can do the stuff that you're talking about. For example, when I share the story of how I made $4,000 my first week of podcasting in a certain way, I made a simple mindset shift that changed everything for me. I tell people that story and I talk about, here's what you could do with your own podcast to do something similar to what I did. Naturally, they get super inspired and they say, can we talk more about this? Or they ask me questions. That's a great sign that this person is inspired. The goal is to get this conversation to the point where you can ask, do you want some help with that? If they say yes, that's when you move on to the next step, which is to invite. This is where most people fall short. They connect with people, they inspire them, and then they're like, I'm not making any money. It's because they never invited them to take the next step. So when they're excited about what you do and what you're talking about, that's when you invite them to that Calendly link where they can book a call and do a strategy session or a discovery call or whatever you want to call the call. Now, the beautiful thing about Connect, Inspire, Invite is that it can happen at scale. So on top of me going to live events, having a podcast, talking to my audience and the people that I really want to help about what I can help them do, I would start a YouTube channel and every week be putting out one video per week, creating content that my audience would really benefit from, things that they would be interested in. Because think about what's happening. They type something into Google or into YouTube, your video pops up. Now you're connected. They watch your video and they say, this is awesome. I love what this person's talking about. They're helping me do whatever the result is. They feel inspired. And then you invite them to take the next step. And that invite would be a lead magnet. This is something free that you give people in exchange for their email address, but it has to be helpful and it has to be valuable. So ask yourself this question: what is a persistent problem my audience faces, and how can I quickly solve that for them in a short PDF or video? If I were getting the ball rolling, trying to make $5,000 per month in Kajabi, I would make a really short checklist or PDF guide that quickly solved a persistent problem my audience faces. And I would offer in every YouTube video that I made. So they connect by finding your video, they get inspired by the content you're creating, you invite them to pick up your lead magnet, they say, heck yeah, I want that. They pick it up. As soon as they hit download, take them to a thank you page that offers them to book a strategy session or discovery call with you. This is how you're able to book phone calls whether you're working or not, because your YouTube channel is doing it for you. Once they're on the phone call, now you need to enroll clients. Now, sales calls don't need to be sleazy or salesy or weird. Again, it comes down to the level of confidence that you have in your ability to help this person and you owning the price of what you're offering. I learned how to take this non-salesy, weird, pushy approach by my mentor, Donald Stojak, who taught me about consultative sales. You're consulting people, finding a need that they have, and offering to solve a problem. And that's all we can really do. And when you do it right, these people will sign up. First, you want to establish rapport. The goal is to build know, like, trust, and respect with this person. You do this by genuinely getting curious about them. Always keep that energy of know, like, trust, and respect throughout the entire conversation. It never dips. And if you feel it dip to where it's kind of losing some trust, I can feel it's a little bit of tension here, back up until you build rapport again. And your main job here in this 45-minute call with your Calendly link is to find their need. What do they really want? It's important to know that nobody wants something just cause. Nobody just wants to get into shape. Nobody just wants to make $5,000 on Kajabi per month, or just build an online business, or just have a better relationship. There's always a reason behind why people do the things that they do. It's like an iceberg. When someone says, I really would like to get into shape, that's the tip of the iceberg, the little bit that you get to see at the top. While underneath, there's this huge body of ice that is the real truth. And the way that you find that real truth with this person is getting curious about, okay, well, why? Why do you want to get into shape? What would that do for you? Why is this so important? How come that is so important to you? And as you're finding that one thing that they really need related to what you do, you want to build value on what you have to offer and create desire in this person. Again, this goes back to that inspire piece. For example, when I'm talking with someone and they share with me on a sales call that they just want to have more freedom, they don't want to be glued to a phone all the time, and they'd like to create more of a scalable business. They want to be able to travel with their family and friends, or take the people they care about on awesome adventures. That's when I share a story about how I took 2 weeks off in Sweden and made $8,000 doing nothing because I set up my systems ahead of time. So when I share that story with them, they feel inspired and feel like, wow, this guy's done what I want to do. Now I've built value and I've created desire, because the way I explain it, it's not just me. Like, you can do this too. You just need to know how and just put the pieces together. So when you've established rapport, you found that thing that they don't just want, but they truly need. You've built value on what you have to offer by explaining it, sharing stories, going back and forth with this person, and you've created a desire in this person that now is the time to make it happen. Then and only then do you talk about the offer. When you tell them how you're going to help them get that result that they don't just want, but they need, and they say, let's do it, you explain the price, then you have your 2 checkout pages, either the payment plan or the paid in full with a bit of a discount, and you send them whichever checkout page is best for them. And what's awesome is when they go through a Kajabi checkout page, Kajabi rewards you when you make your first $1,000, when you make your first $10,000, $50,000, $100K, and so on. They send you cool packages and badges and this awesome presents that you get for growing your business. And they reward you along the way. So when you're doing more coaching like this, you're going to get to those milestones a whole lot faster, especially if you don't have a big audience, compared to you building, selling those products and trying to build that audience over time. So there you have it. That is the roadmap that I would take to get to $5,000 per month on Kajabi as a beginner. Again, if you want to implement this roadmap, get started with Kajabi. I'd highly recommend that you pick up this 3 months at $99. It's only $33 a month to use the best online business building platform on the internet. And if you do go to profityourknowledge.com/Kajabi to check that out, and you're like, I don't know if I want to spend the $99, you can also get a free 30-day trial. You'll still get the coaching call with me and my online course all about Kajabi. So the choice is really yours. Click the link down in the description and you can make a decision of which one works best for you. And if you want to see a full breakdown on the strategy that I used to make $4,000 in my first week of podcasting, you should check out this video right here. Take what you learned here, get out there, make something happen, and I'll see you in the next one.